Hi folks, welcome back to the shop here at Project Pine Hills. Today we're going to look at my tool bag loadout of this Veto Pro Pac Tech-MCT tool pouch. Now this is a brand new pouch from Veto and it's part of their two-tier spring promotion. Now this is their tier 1 bag that you can get for free if you buy a large enough bag. But first let's take a look at this bag setup. Now this is how the bag arrives and it has Velcro here at the top. If you pull this Velcro, there's two zippers on the side that peel down. You'll see nested inside are two pouches. One is a tool pouch and one is a holster for an impact driver. Now this is a pretty turnkey product from Veto. If you look at this holster, you can see it's got this pocket stuffer in the back that you can put in your front pocket, back pocket, or on the waistline of your pants. And you'll see they've got 4 magnets on here, right? 2 here on the flap and 2 on the main part of the pouch, which makes it really nice because these magnets pull in, and that means if you put it in your pocket, it's going to stay very close to your body. It's not going to be hanging out from you. And the tool pouch is the same. It has the same pocket stuffer on it with magnets. So you have side pockets on both sides of this bag, and you can take this pocket stuffer and just stuff it in there and push it down, and then it'll magnetically pull to the bag. So you can see it rides very close to the side of the bag, and that's the way this bag is designed to work. So you take this other pocket stuffer here, you can see I can put it on this side of the bag, push it all the way down, and it pulls inside as well. Now, this is that drill or impact holster. You see I can put it in there like that. Makes it very easy to access. Or if I want it more secured, I can take the impact or drill out, drop the handle down in there. It has a strap here on the side that I can pull up. You can go over on this holster and loop it right here. Slide it in, and now your impact or drill are not going anywhere. So if your bag falls over in your truck or van, it's not going to fall out. Just slide this guy over, take your impact or drill out, and you can see that this strap just slides right down out of the way. So you can return the drill or impact back to that format. So it can take an 18 volt or a 12 volt drill. I have a 12 volt Milwaukee impact in there right now. Also has a tape clip here on this holster. So you can pop a tape clip on there, and that sticks out pretty far from the bag, but it might be nice if you're carrying this on you. But that's how the bag is set up, right? So, and I think Veto is responding to what their customers do. For example, Veto has this tool pouch. This is the MP1X, and a lot of people were taking these and taking the pocket stuffer here. You can see there's no magnets, and they were putting it on their tool bag. So you can see I can stuff that right there on this Veto Tech-MCT bag. Another option you have if you own one of these Veto MP1X tool pouches is you can take this pouch off the side, take your MP1X and that pocket stuffer, put that right down in there. So I think Veto is responding to how their customers are using these bags. So it makes it pretty turnkey. You don't have to buy these separately. Everything comes in the bag, and you can get it all together where you get it free or you buy the bag. On the front of this bag, they have a pouch here. You pull this up. If we look inside, you'll see they have 5 small tool pockets there inside. I can take this straight pick and put it in there. So 5 of those. Decent amount of space in here. If you shut that flap and go around the bag, you have the option of keeping these pouches on, or you can take them off and use these pockets as just regular pockets for stuff you want to hang on the side of the bag, so you have those options. You can see it has this strap on the top that's removable. It's got 2 clips on both sides, so you can take this off if you don't want this. Looking at the back of the bag here, you see it did come with a tape loop, and of course the pouch has D-rings where you could hang this tape loop on the pouch. I put it on one of these D-rings in the back for now. The bag also has a hook here in the back. You just pull up on this, you'll see it just extends right out of the bag. You can now hang this pouch from that hook. So we put that back in there. We also have a pouch here on the back. You pull this up. This is just a regular pocket here, not a whole lot of storage. We'll look at that. But again, 2 D-rings in the back. Turn the bag here, we're back to the front of the bag. And you can grab this front pocket here at the top, pull the Velcro back, and just peel this pocket down. Now you notice there's a pocket here inside you can see through. We can unzip that. And you'll notice this pocket extends all the way through. So if I put my hand through there, you can see I can come out the other side. We open the bag up, you can see that it has typical Veto tool storage in here. It does have V-swap in here, so that means that if I just pull this corner down here, I can take that V-swap. It also snaps into place. It has 2 snaps there in the back. But I can remove this V-swap panel and you can see how this pouch is laid out. You got a neoprene pouch here, which is typically designed for a meter. You got a more sturdier pouch here, that's that 900 denier polyester that Veto has. And you got 4 tool pockets here in the back. Also have a couple of neoprene pockets here, 2 small ones on the front, a larger one in the back. I really like those. And if you look at in the bottom there, you can see the bag's pretty deep. And of course, like all Veto bags, it has that polypropylene base on the bottom of the bag. Now, a few improvements I'd like to see to this bag. Once it gets full, it's not very tippy, but you'll notice when it's empty, if you push it forward, it's not too tippy, but if I push it back, it's much more likely to tip over. And I think that's because of the shape of this polypropylene base. If you notice on the front side, this is the leading edge of the base, but on the back side, it curves in, and you have these two corners. So that's where the leading points are on the back of this bag. So I think if they made this base the same on the back as it is in the front, that would make it a lot less tippy. Also, I would suggest making this base a little bit deeper, and the bag wouldn't be quite as tippy, especially in your truck or van. That's where we really don't want it to be falling over. Another suggestion I would make is these zippers come up to this point here, right where the Velcro attaches on both sides. And you can see the Velcro comes loose here, and this is where the zipper stops. I think it would be better if this zipper track continued all the way around the top of the bag, just like it is on the Tech-MCT, right? I can zip all the way around this bag, or zip it shut. I have that option. It'd be nice if that was also on the SP-MC. And another improvement I think they could make, and they should have included in this bag, is when you open this up, you'll notice there's no pockets here on this inside compartment of this bag, right? There's no small pockets here. It'd be nice if they had the same style pockets that you see inside of here on this part of the bag. That would make it nice. There's so many tools. This bag's kind of deep, so if you drop tools in here, they kind of fall in pretty deep. If you had about 6 pockets here on the inside, you could insert tools here, and I think that would give you a lot better tool storage for smaller items. But those are 3 improvements that I would like to see made to this bag. I think it would make a big difference. Now here's a quick side-by-side comparison to the Veto Pro Pac Tech-MCT. You can see the pouch is quite a bit smaller. I'm going to turn them sideways here so you can see how they look from the side. And you see this new SP-MC is a lot smaller than that Tech-MCT. Now here's a quick size comparison to Veto's Tier 1 promotional bag from last year, the SBLD. Now I never used this bag because I bought the Tech-MCT and that's what I used. I also didn't use it because I didn't have a closed top. So I like this SP-MC better because it does have a closed top on it. If you don't have a closed top bag, it means you're going to get more dirt and condensation on your tools. Condensation, of course, equals more corrosion. Here's a quick comparison back to back. And probably the best way to show the size difference is to look at the base of these two bags. When you compare the base, you can tell that the SBLD is quite a bit larger. To me, all the things I wanted to see in the SBLD, Veto's done with the SP-MC. So I think the SP-MC is definitely the better bag. All right, let's go through my tool pouch loadout for this. We can see we have the impact here on one side. This is a 12-volt Milwaukee impact. I prefer the surge version of that impact. This one's the non-surge. I just got it on here for now. You see, you have an Olight flashlight here on the side. This one happens to be the Baton 3. Got the magnetic attachment on there. I like that because I can just pull it away when I'm coming back to the bag to put this flashlight on. Pops right on that magnet. I think it's really handy. And this is also from Olight, this O-Link. The flashlight is great because it's a flashlight that you can tail stand. It magnetically attaches and can fully rotate that. And you can also take this light and attach it to your hat very quickly. And the button is oriented right where you need it. So just an excellent light from Olight, and I like how it quickly attaches back to that bag. Let's go around to the other side of the bag here. We see we have the other pouch. We have this Comelin 16-foot tape measure. I like this tape measure because it's inexpensive. And it has these fractional units right here on the bottom. You can see, not that we don't know what they are, but it makes it easier to double check yourself. I have a small flashlight here that goes just with this pouch. This is the Olight i5R EOS. I'll have a link to all these in the description so you can check them out, but that's just a very handy flashlight as well that just stays with the pouch. Here we have a pair of Knipex forged wire strippers. They have a nice lock on here. You can unlock them either right or left-handed. They're indexed, so they have these notches here so you can quickly find your wire gauges. So here's 12 gauge and here's 14 gauge on either side of that notch. You don't have to thread the screws to cut them off. And of course, this is one of the new style hybrid pliers. You have this larger duckbill on here. It's sort of like a pair of lineman pliers, but you don't have to carry a pair of linemans. So nice pair of wire strippers there from Knipex. I also have just a silver Sharpie marker. Got a Fluke non-contacted voltage tester. Excellent tester here. We keep that on the pouch. I push the button here. You can see it turns on. We can quickly go back here to this receptacle and test for voltage. Just an excellent non-contact voltage tester from Fluke. I have a Pica pencil here that has its own holster, so you can just pull this mechanical pencil out. Excellent pencil. Has the large form lead in it, right? You just press it and it goes, the lead pushes out like any mechanical pencil. And see, I can push that back in. It's made in Germany. I avoided buying these for a long time, but I really like them. And it has this holster that it comes in. It just makes it nice to mount on your pocket or in this pouch in this case. So you can just pull the pencil out, do what you need to do, and pop it back in there. So I'm going to remove this holster. Take that off for a moment. Now this pouch does have a pass-through pocket. You can see I can take this long shank Craftsman screwdriver, just put it right down here. You can see it extends down below the pouch. So you have 2 pass-through pockets on both sides of this tool pouch. We also have a Milwaukee Fastback 6-in-1 here. It's got the flip style blade with just a push of a button. The blade comes out. It's also got a screwdriver in it. It's got that flip bit style in it. You get Phillips bit here. We can pull that out, flip it around. We get a slotted bit. And the screwdriver blade locks out, has a liner lock in it. Push that liner lock over to bring the blade back in. And of course it also has a cap lifter on it. So just an excellent knife from Milwaukee. And we'll look here on the back of the bag real quick. You can see I pull this flap up. I've got a Write in the Rain notepad here, just to take some quick notes. And along with that, I have a pencil here. It's a Graph Gear 1000 Pentel pencil, so excellent pencil. The tip goes all the way up into the mechanical pencil. You can see how it's out right now. When I push this pocket clip in, it's going to draw that lead and the tip back up into the pencil. So excellent pencil here from Pentel. Really like this. First saw this on Morgan's Maintenance YouTube channel. It's a great idea. We look in the back here. I have a Milwaukee level. Fits in the bag really well. I wouldn't mind carrying a lighter level in there in case you drop it. Sometimes I like to have those lighter levels. I've got a stubby screwdriver here. This is the PB Swiss 8453. It's got the bit storage in the handle. Excellent stubby screwdriver from PB Swiss. I mean, it's really the best there is on the market. And the last thing I have down here is a receptacle tester, GFCI tester from Klein. Works great. So that's everything on the outside of the bag. Now another item I'll add to the outside of this bag is this Railer keychain bit holder. You just clip it right here on this D-ring. And I can take bits like this 3.5 inch Milwaukee No. 2 Phillips and just push it right in there. I don't have to pull the collar down on this bit holder. Here's a Torx 25 Milwaukee bit. Pop that right in. Here I got Malco's 4-inch flip socket. Push that right in there. So now I have all these on the outside of the bag. And I've also got this Railer mini ratchet on there that can turn any of these. Now, to remove the bit, you don't pull it down. It's another great thing is you can't bump this and have the bits fall out by mistake. You have to pull the collar back to take the bit out. And of course, you can take this Railer mini ratchet, pop it right on there and turn any one of these hex bits. And it's got a little switch on there we can flip. And of course, it'll go in the reverse direction as well as this knurling that can turn the bit. Now the bag fully loaded weighs about 17.5 pounds. If we take these two pouches off of both sides, and this configuration, it weighs about 12 pounds. We go to the front here, and of course we have this Olight clip light here. This is the original Olight clip light. I really like this because, you know, you can tail stand this light. It magnetically attaches as well. And of course, it's got a clip on it with this rubberized inside. So just a really handy light to have on you that you can mount several different ways. That's the key thing you need with a work light is several different ways to mount the light. Pull this pouch open in the front. This is where I've got everything socket and bit related, right? So it starts with this Icon mini ratchet. It's a flex head mini ratchet. We push the button here, the ratchet goes out. It's got an extension here on it, and it's got a square drive. I can take this handle out, put it in here, get a longer extension. And of course with that square drive, I can put this up here and I can drive sockets with this ratchet. It's a push button locking flex head. You just push this button down and move it forward and back. So really like this ratchet from Icon. Vim makes one too. I'll have a link in the description. But inside is everything that's compatible with that ratchet. So for example, I have all of these bits here. I have them in a Railer bit holder, and we got some Torx here and some hex. I've got some more Railer bits here. This is a hex set that I have. Really like this set. On this side here, they're standard bits, right? So if we pull this out, you can see that's 3/16. You just flip it around and all the bits over here are metric on this side. So there's a 4 size metric. So really excellent flexible bit holder from Railer. And of course you can take these bits out and they'll go directly in this Icon wrench, right? You can just pop them in there and you can turn these bits. So that's what makes this ratchet so handy. So we don't have to carry 2 separate dedicated sets of Allen keys or hex keys in the bag. So it saves us a lot of space. And for sockets in here, I have 2 different Klein socket rails. I have the standard and metric version of these flip sockets. And of course, these can be pushed out and this will hold a regular bit in it as well. And of course, these sockets can go into this ratchet. You can see how that's compatible there. You got your own extension here, and I can turn any one of these flip sockets. If I want to use one of these other sockets, I just pull this socket off the rail, put it on the end here. I'm driving that socket. So I have all these sockets here with me. So that's everything I have in this pouch. Now, I pull open this front flap here, and it has 2 zippers on each side that just go down automatically as we pull this down. And one of the first things I like to do on these Veto bags is I get these neodymium magnets on Amazon. I'll have a link to these as well. They have these little washers in between them. You just slide these magnets to the side. You take one of these magnets and put it in the bag. And before you do, you want to make sure it bonds to the other magnet. So we put that in the bag here. So it's attracted to the side of the magnets already in there. Then we slide another magnet off here, and that'll attach right on the outside of the bag. Now we have a magnetic screw catch on the bag. So I do this with all my Veto bags. So now I have a place I can store bits, you name it, out here on front of the bag, and a place to quickly store screws. So it just comes in really handy. You can even store tools out here really quickly. And those tools will even ride on the bag as you close it, right? You can see that straight mechanics pick's riding there, no problem. And because these neodymium magnets are so strong, I can even attach items on the outside of this bag as well. Inside this pouch, I have some leads here for a voltmeter I have here. I have this little pin meter here inside the bag that it goes with. You just take this guy and slip it here in the back. And this is a great pin meter. I have a video on the channel about this. It's an automatic meter that can test AC and DC voltage, and it also acts as a non-contact voltage tester. So if I hit this front button on here, and you see it has that built-in non-contact voltage tester. Just a simple basic meter for doing diagnostic work. Very portable, really like that meter. And if you need something better, I can grab my Fluke out of my other bag. What else do we have in here? We have a plastic razor blade scraper, so that comes in really handy. And that's all that I have in this pass-through pouch. We look inside here, we have an Irwin demolition screwdriver. Excellent screwdriver, really like this. It's got that striking cap on it, but I find it just comes in handy for all types of things. What else do we have here? We have a Klein Tools Impact Ratcheting 1101 screwdriver. Now, this thing's great because it has all the sizes are marked on it. You got 5/16 here marked. All the bits are well marked. I've got a square number 1 size bit out here. Of course, this will pop out and it can go right into your impact, so makes this tool really handy and ensures that everything works together in the kit here because it's got that 1/4 inch hex collet on there. Of course, you pull this out, we got more, we can flip it around. We have even more sizes here. We have 3/8 here. It's great for replacing garbage disposals. You'll need this, all the sockets you have in this set here. We got a torque set here. We also have a standard bit driver here, so I can take any bit that I have in these other sets we have here, and I can pop that in here and drive these. As I mentioned, this is also ratcheting. It's got very, very low back drag, one of the lowest back drags I've ever seen in a screwdriver. So that's an excellent item there as well. If I want to have a power screwdriver, I have this guy here. This is a Vessel, the 220 USB P1. It's got a forward and back switch on it, got different speeds. You can hold this button down where the solid green light is and change the speeds of the screwdriver. It's flashing slow now. So now it's in slow mode. It's got a collet up front here. If we just push that collet forward, I can take this bit out and I can flip it around, and now I've got a slotted bit on this screwdriver. So just a quicker way to remove screws. Excellent screwdriver to have, especially machine screws, that sort of thing. Really like this ball grip. Also has USB-C charging, so just an excellent screwdriver there from Vessel. And I've got a video on the channel about this as well. Also have in here a Klein Tools 27-in-1 screwdriver. It has 27 bits, a lot of double-ended bits stored here in this carousel and the handle, so you can't beat this guy. I keep the number 2 Phillips bit here on the end of it, so you can use it as a regular screwdriver if you want to, so very versatile screwdriver. I also like to always have a 5-in-1. I really like these ones from Hyde that I've had forever. Just need that for different things, scraping, opening paint cans, whatever. Let's see here. I've got a couple of 10-inch pliers in here. This is the 250 millimeter size of the Knipex pliers wrench. It's a fast adjust pliers here where the jaws stay parallel. And of course, because these jaws are smooth, they're not going to mar up surfaces with them like you would a regular pair of water pump pliers. This cam mechanism here gives you incredible leverage. So it can also replace an adjustable wrench. So, and I also found that you can use it, when you put the jaws together here, you can use this as almost like a portable vise, right? I find I can mount things in here if I'm trying to work on them, and it can hold them for me while I'm doing something else. So really just a tool that has a lot of different applications there and with that quick adjust. So on this side, we have another 10-inch pair of pliers, and this is the 250 millimeter Cobra pliers. Of course, most folks have heard about these, right? But it's an adjustable pliers here, and these pliers really hit above their weight. What Knipex has done is they've cut this groove really long on these pliers here where it adjusts, which means the opening becomes much larger than you get with a standard 10-inch pair of pliers. So you can find these can handle a job where you need to typically grab a 12-inch pair of pliers. So they really punch above their weight because of that really large jaw opening. So, and of course the teeth on the Cobra pliers face opposite directions. That gives it an incredible amount of bite, a lot like a pipe wrench. What else do I have in here? A pair of Milwaukee USA made long nose or needle nose pliers. Now, I really do like these long nose pliers from Milwaukee. You can see they have a sort of aggressive cross hatching, a lot like the Snap-on Talon grip pliers, or similar to the Talon grips, but just an excellent pair of pliers made in the USA from Milwaukee. You can't beat them. Not crazy about the fact they have this hole in the grip here for a lanyard. I'd rather they just left that off, but just a great pair of pliers for the money. All right, what else do we have? I've got a pair of Knipex twin grips here. This is the 8-inch or 200 millimeter size of twin grips. Of course, if you're not familiar with twin grips, they are basically a slip joint plier. You push the button here and they work like a traditional slip joint plier. From that perspective, they got jaws similar to the Cobra pliers with opposing teeth. But what they add is, when you look at the end here, you can see they have the cutout here on the tip to allow you to do screw extraction. So just a handy pair of pliers. You can see they're very narrow, so they can fit in tight spaces where you might not be able to get with any other type of pliers. And like all these Knipex pliers, one of the arms on the pliers goes between the other two arms on the other pliers. That gives all these Knipex pliers a tremendous amount of balance, right? So when you bite down on them, it's a very balanced bite. The jaws aren't trying to pull apart like they might on a traditional pair of slip joint pliers. And this kind of plier setup is known as a box joint. All right, what else do we have in here? We have a pair of Knipex compact bolt cutters. This is the 200mm size or 8-inch size. And this one has the notch in there. You can see it's notched away right here. You can get it with or without the notch. The idea of that notch is you can fit larger items back in here. When you go to bite down on these pliers, it won't push out whatever you're trying to cut like traditional cutters. So that's the Knipex compact bolt cutters. And I have another item I have here is a smaller pair of Cobra pliers. This is the 180mm pair or 7¼ inch pair. Really like this size. Again, like the 10-inch, when you open these all the way up because of the large jaw size, this pair of pliers really punches above its weight because it has such a large opening. You can do a lot more with it than you think you could do with such a small pair of pliers. Next up, we have a pair of flush cutters here. These are the Icon flush cutters. And you can see they're ground here to one flat side, so they cut completely flush, unlike a pair of diagonal cutters. And this is Icon's version of the snap-on flush cutter. I got this Icon version to try it out at Harbor Freight. Just a really excellent pair of flush cutters. I also have a telescopic inspection mirror in here. This one just happens to be a Craftsman. And I have a magnetic screw retrieval tool, also telescoping as well. Nice small one here. Then over here I have a quad wrench from Husky. Now, when I first got these, I had them on the channel and I got some grief for having them. A lot of folks were saying, oh, I should just use a standard wrench. That's not the case at all. This turned out to be one of the handiest wrenches I've ever gotten. Now, this is the metric version. We got 10mm on this side. You flip it over, you got 8mm socket there. You got with 12mm here and 13 here. Just a really handy ratchet. I can't tell how many times I've used this. That 10mm comes in super handy, and it's got that switch on it here to reverse the direction, but I can't tell you how many times I've used this, especially for removing battery terminals from a car, that sort of thing. Just, I find it so handy. That's why I've ended up keeping it in the bag. It comes in a set, but I've ended up buying more of them just to have them in bags. And what else? Of course, I've got a locking bit holder here from DeWalt. Now, the way this works is you put a bit in here, you push down, and you'll see the bit locks in place. And it's got this collar here that won't let the bit remove until you pull this black collar back. I pull it back, you'll see the bit pops up. So it's really the best locking bit holder in the market. And of course, that works with the impact and allows us to run all these different railer bits on this impact. So that's one of the key things about this toolkit is everything's interchangeable, whether it works with this impact or this locking bit holder is also compatible with the 1/4 inch collet on this vessel. Everything in this bag is designed to be interchangeable and work together. So if you look down in here, you'll see I have a almond straight mechanics pick. I have one of these in every bag. I just find it so incredibly useful. It's got a steel shank and an aluminum handle. So almond pick, I'll have a link in the description. You can check it out. And I have a little wire brush here as well, just for cleaning things up. Find that handy to have. And I've got a bastard file here. I can't tell you how many times I've found this helpful just to have in the bag. Just a small file, wouldn't believe how handy that is and how many times you find yourself needing that. Also have a few zip ties here in the bag, right? Keep a few of them in there. I'm still working out this bag, so I'm probably gonna have some more in here. Now, what I like about this bag is you could have this on your truck and you might decide, oh, I just need this tool pouch. That's all I'm gonna need. You put this on and maybe the impact and go. Or you could say, hey, I don't need either one of these pouches and I want to go in light. I'm not gonna need the impact. You could take the impact off, leave it in your truck. Okay, now you have a bag here that only weighs 12 pounds. And then if you need one of these tools, I've got some extra room in this bag right now, extra pockets. I can put my forged wire strippers in there and some of the other tools that might be on this pouch. For example, this tape measure, I can clip that out here. I can take this Pica pencil and I can clip this on there. Put the marker here. So different items I can put on the outside of this bag. I could take this non-contact voltage tester, put that in there. So you can use these pockets in this format, save yourself some weight, but you can make those choices. If you want to run the bag like this, and that's how you go in with it being a little bit more light and more compact, you can do that. But you can make those choices as you use the bag and decide what works for you. But these outside pockets can also work well to just store things out here in general. So I can just put several different items in there for quick access. For example, I could take And if you're going to have it in this configuration, these outside pockets are a great place to put that quad wrench out there, right? That's the bag loadout, folks, that I've come up with right now. Again, I'm just developing this, so I'm sure it's going to change. There'll be more things I can do. One thing about this bag is it is pretty deep because this flap stops halfway here, unlike the MCT bag, right? If you look at the Tech-MCT, you know, it folds down and here. So this bag has a lot more depth to it. So if you put something like this locking bit holder in there, it really goes down into the bag. You can't put really smaller things in there like a stubby screwdriver. You have to find another place to store them. That's why I think it'd be smart if Veto would have put pockets here on the inside so you could put things like this locking bit holder in there so they wouldn't sort of go all the way to the bottom. So that's one drawback there. That's the concept of this bag. All their tools in here are designed to be interchangeable, whether it's a locking bit holder. All these hex bits that I have here from Railer, they can work in this impact. And of course, they're working this special screwdriver. It also has a 1/4 inch hex. It works in this Icon or Vim ratchet. All these items are designed to work together. And of course you could use these bits out of this stubby driver here from PB Swiss. You know, that'll pop right here into this locking bit holder, lock right into place. So everything in this bag is designed intentionally to be interchangeable. So all these tools you see here are compatible and work together. Let me know in the comments what you think of this Veto SP-MC bag and what you think I should add to this loadout. And please remember to like and subscribe. All those actions help me to continue to bring content to you here on the Project Pine Hills channel. And with that said, check out this next video.